Steelers, Seahawks up next. Both teams put up stinkers in week one, and we had the Steelers open up at -3.5. 3.5s across the board, but Pinnacle with the -4. We had 4s yesterday, now 3.5s. Seattle is a look that Teddy Covers is leaning towards. He already had Browns -2.5 in his pocket, but he's interested in the Seahawks. This total opened up at 46.5, still there at Pinnacle, and Bet Online juiced -118, -122 to the over. 47s everywhere else. Steelers should bounce back at home, shouldn't they? Both teams should be better than they were. We're getting this nice line because of how bad the Steelers looked. So at first I was like, yeah, then the Steelers should be the play with Seattle traveling all the way across the country. But I start thinking about what I saw from the Steelers, and it was just so bad. Now, we know that the Seahawks aren't filming, the Steelers practices like we know the Patriots were. But what move do you make here? Donnie Rightside, Seahawks, Steelers.
Yeah, we got looks like a little bit of help there late in the week with the practice report. The only guy that looks like he's going to miss the football game, there will be Roosevelt Nix, who's a fullback who barely gets on the field anyway at this point. So a lot of those worries we had, maybe Big Ben banged up, Juju Smith-Schuster banged up, and also I believe the center, Marquise Pouncey, he had full practice put in today. So health-wise, that's pretty good. And I'm still leaning towards the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they come back in a bounce back. I think it was overreactions. You weren't in a good spot. I mean, Bill Belichick and the boys, they had, 8 months to get ready for you, 6 months to get ready for that football team. You're down AB for the first time. You're going into the Hornets' nest. This team feels disrespected. They didn't get the Thursday night game. They're getting the Sunday night game. And the thing I like about the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they're super athletic on the front seven, and they'll be able to make waves late in the season. But it always seems when you play Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, nobody's pass rush matters because Tom Brady knows exactly where it's coming from, and the ball is always out in time, and their play calls are dialed to perfection every single time. So I try to take those games out and say, what can we do good in this game? Where we know Seattle is so much better at home because of the advantages they get on defense with that crowd noise, which is not going to be here. Seattle going West Coast to East Coast, take them on turf. They're a pretty good turf football team. Now you're going to be able to get them on grass and do a little bit of ground and pound. I look for a bounce-back effort from the Pittsburgh Steelers in this football game. I think the Steelers overall are more talented. I think you're getting them at a pretty good price. And again, it's just that dichotomy there. Seattle at home as opposed to Seattle away is a much different team. I like the fact that the Seattle Seahawks actually won last week, so that pressure of we can't go 0-2 on the season isn't there for them, but it's there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Didn't make an official play, but I do like the Pittsburgh Steelers here, Jimmy.
Mohamed Joma giving us a stat, 1-12-1 against the spread. Seattle in road openers last 14 years. Whale Capper, big game in Steeltown, Seattle, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm with Donnie. My read is a bounce back here for the Steelers. They were in a horrific spot week one. Not only were they the sacrificial lambs on banner raising night, and not only did the AB saga pretty clearly mess with kind of everybody's attention, it felt like in that Steelers locker room, but the Patriots got off to a good, crisp, clean start, and the Steelers really had no answer for them. And yeah, I backed the Steelers this week. This is an attempt to capture a little bit of that overreaction to maybe they're not that good. I think there is one unit in this game that is not that good, and that's the Seahawks defense. They had virtually no answer for what the Bengals rolled out. It was a miracle that the Seahawks won that game. That should have been a Bengals win if you kind of break it down any number of ways. But it is what it is, and Seahawks here now travel across the country, and hostile environment. Steelers fans are going to be in this game. This is going to be a very tough spot, and I downgraded the Seahawks offensive line a bit, seeing them perform week one. Now they're going to be in a loud, difficult environment. I think that's going to make it tough for this offense to go toe to toe with the Steelers, who I think are going to put up a high 20s, low 30s type of points against this weak Seahawks D.
Interesting spot. I find this a difficult card. I mean, I thought I had a bunch of angles week one. I made 12 bets. And, sitting here down 0.25 units, I'll take it. But this, I find it way, way more difficult. I guess we had the advantage of studying for 3 months week one.